Okay, this week we are skydiving into the newest installment into the never-ending Mission Impossible series. The savior of cinema, Tom Cruise, is back, and he is saving cinema once again. A film that pushes the limits of what should an actor legally be allowed to attempt, but also the limits of action filmmaking. We have new cast members, old cast members, and we have a lot of crazy stunts and also some relative developments as far as the villain, quote-unquote villain of the story. And we have a lot to talk about, Zach. But ultimately, does this film save cinema? But I think we have a more important question, don't you?
I have a few questions. I'm interested to hear your take on how you could create laws to prevent actors specifically from doing things, because you said legally be able to an actor legally be able to do. But after that question, we're going to answer the ultimate question, which is, but is Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning Part 1 good?
What a title. Let's find out if Mission: Impossible - The Dead Reckoning Part 1 is good or not.
Yes. But is it good podcast? Yeah.
What up?
Sup?
Welcome to the I was unnecessary and rude. I'm a little late. There's no need to be mean about it. I already apologized once.
It's okay.
I was too busy teaching my son math.
Yeah.
Because you won't accept him until he knows math.
That's right. So you're basing the way that you're raising your child off of my approval, which I really appreciate.
Yeah,
that's the
totally.
most important thing is my approval.
Entirely. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to But Is It Good? I am your host, Hunter Callahan.
And I am your host, Zach Olson.
We're doing Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. We're doing Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning Part 1.
There's no parentheses.
Oh, fuck. We're doing Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning Part 1.
There you go. Perfect.
I apologize for this episode being out Monday night, super late, so basically Tuesday, because I was out of town all week. I had planned to try and record remotely from California, but it just did not happen, so it's my fault. Also slightly Delta's fault because my flight was like 3 hours late last night, so I got home at like midnight. So
yeah. Well, they forgot about the time change, so that's what it was. They just, oh shit, we said it was going to, but that's the wrong time zone. Oh,
you know what's wild? Did I tell you like what happened real quick? Sorry.
No, no, you didn't.
They said it was 110 degrees in Sacramento yesterday. Okay.
Was it too hot to fly through the state?
It was. So apparently, yes, sort of. Apparently, the heat and temperature can like mess up the weight and balance of a plane. And they said because of the heat, somehow the plane was too heavy to take off. So like 20 people had to get off the plane.
Oh shit!
And so it was like,
how did they determine who had to get off? Was it random?
They did the like volunteer for like money. Basically, they're like Delta will pay you. It got up to like $2,000 a person. And when it got to that, me and Hannah were like, "Hey, we'll volunteer next." We're like for $2,000 each. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, they got like 6 people off that way. But then they started doing standbys, and they're like, "You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go." It was a mess. We sat on the plane for 3 hours. I played a lot of Zelda.
Sounds awful.
It was awful.
Did you pay for in-flight Wi-Fi?
No. That one had a free Wi-Fi because A lot of Delta flights and your Sky Miles members have free Wi-Fi. But I just played Zelda most of the time. It was kind of nice. Anyway, how are you? I see you got settled in nice at the new place. Looks like you're all unpacked.
All unpacked. I'm doing well. Athena got spayed on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So she's acting completely normal. She's sedated right now.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted to keep her calm for a few days, right? But when the sedatives wear off, she's like ready to party. Doesn't act like she's sore or anything. Doesn't seem like it even registers that they like cut a big hole in her belly, or maybe not a hole, like a line.
Yeah. That's good. Good deal. I'm glad she's doing well. I'm glad you're both doing well.
We're both doing well.
But we are here to talk about a movie. So let's do that. And if you like what we do, please like and subscribe and follow. And we'll tell you again at the end of the show. Anyway, Zach, you can go first. You watched this yesterday? No, Saturday.
2 days ago.
Saturday. I saw it almost a week ago, so you're more fresh than I am. So what are your first thoughts and reactions, sir?
It's a solid entry into the... Have you seen all of the Mission Impossible movies?
I don't think so. I think I've seen most of them.
You haven't seen...
I'll be honest and say that I think they've all kind of blended together. I know I saw the last one with Henry Cavill where he like cocks his arms like they're shotguns.
Right.
I've seen that one. I haven't seen like the early ones. I've seen most of the later ones, I think.
You got to watch one. You got to watch all of them but two, honestly. I mean, two's good, but it's the worst of the pack, and I think that most people would agree on that.
All right.
But this is a solid entry to the franchise, in my opinion. It's not my favorite. The action is wonderful. It always is. The set pieces and the sequences that they bring to the screen, and obviously everything that Tom Cruise does is, well, maybe not everything that he does, but like within this franchise, everything that he does is just like solid. Mm-hmm. When you get that Tom Cruise run, you're like, oh yeah, Mission Impossible, dun. I will say
he has such an upright sprint.
I will say it feels like, oh, sorry, keeping on the good for a second.
Yes.
He has a very, very, very good sense for comedic timing in a serious movie. Like every time he does something that's like funny, it's well placed and just like really well done, in my opinion. I don't think a lot of action actors can do that as well as he does. Onto the bad, and it's not necessarily bad, it's just stuff that, I noticed. There's a lot of like repetitive exposition where like we talk about this key for like 10 minutes, like four different times.
Yeah.
And it just seemed, I guess there's different people in the room, but us as the viewer, we know what the fuck the key is and what it does.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. So that, wasn't a big fan of that. But outside of that, like I don't have much to complain about with this movie. Just that. And this is part one, right? But it felt like it was a setup for the next movie. Like think about the final sequence, because you watched the previous movie, right? With when the nuke's about to go off and they're like they're on the helicopter and then they go off the cliff and he's got to do, and it's like down to the millisecond and he's got to hit it at the right second, otherwise the world's gone basically, right? And it just feels like the stakes are so high, and you don't get that with this movie because it is a setup for part two.
Yes,
which isn't necessarily like a knock against it. It's just keeps it from elevating to the level of some other movies in the franchise.
It's something that you deal with when you announce a part one.
Sure.
But yeah, cool. I saw this. I think it was technically opening night because it was released on like the 12th. Which means that they have night showings the day before. I saw it on Tuesday in San Mateo, California, in a packed
You saw it on
theater.
Tuesday?
I saw it on Tuesday, last Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So you've forgotten the whole thing, haven't you?
yeah, but now I had, who's in this? Tom Cruise? Is that who it is? I was, it was kind of like a last minute thing. I had planned to see it later in the week, but we flew to California. Hannah was tired, so I was like, hey, I'll just go see it tonight because I don't want to take up another night. And I decided at like 6 o'clock that I was going to go. The show was at 7:30. And I got to the theater and there were like 3 seats left. And so I forgot. I was like, oh wow, this opening night. And so it was packed, dude. On Tuesday night, it was packed out. I really, really liked it, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of the Mission Impossible movies to me are fine. Like they kind of blend together. I'm not super high on the franchise, but this one I was really blown away. Now I'll say plot-wise, I think it's fine. I think it can get a little generic in what they're up against, and you're kind of like, okay, it's not that original, in my opinion. But, I mean, damn, the set pieces and the action were just bonkers, dude. Like, really bonkers. I don't think the plot, weighs it down too much. I didn't go see it for the plot. I don't know who does, you know what I'm saying? I think the last 30 or so minutes are really, really strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really, I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. I think it's not perfect. I think the beginning is a little all over the place sometimes, but overall, I had a really, really great time, and I usually don't care about the next one of these, but I'm really excited to see the next one, actually, in a year. So there's my
Cool.
first thoughts a week later.
There's your first thoughts a week later.
Yes. I'm going to pull up a timer real fast. Online time stopwatch.
Sing a song for us, Hunter, while I go get a drink.
A drink. Zach's going to go get a drink. I presume it's going to be whiskey for whiskey shots later in the show. But first, we got to do movie in a minute. I don't remember most of this movie because I saw it like 7 days ago. But I'll do my best. That's all we ask is just do your best. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gonna do my best too.
Is not whiskey.
Mm.
I don't have my whiskey here. There's like a handful of things that are still at my old apartment. And when I was packing, I was like, this isn't essential. So the whiskey's still there. Also, I didn't want to spill it, put it in a box and then someone dropped the box and there's just whiskey everywhere, you know.
Well, we are going to do whiskey shots later, so you have some whiskey there, right?
Yeah, I've got some whiskey.
I can't see what that is.
It's ranch water. You want ranch water?
Ranch water?
Mm-hmm. It's
Please
not
tell me.
It's not like
water. You pour ranch in it. Please tell me that's what that is. 'Cause that's disgusting.
No. Like ranch, like home on the range, like ranch. It's agave.
home on the range.
It's agave. It's like hard seltzer with agave nectar in it, and it's really good.
Wow, that sounds
It's very refreshing.
lovely. It's hard seltzer, so it's got alcohol.
Yes, it does.
What's the alcohol level? I was like
It's
9.2.
4%. It's like 4%. It's to me, it's for the taste. If it didn't have any liquor in it, that'd be perfectly fine. It's just delicious.
Next time we hang out and are drinking, I'm gonna get a glass of water. No, I'm gonna get some vodka. So you think it's water? I'm just gonna pour ranch in it.
Ranch.
And say here's some.
It doesn't even have to be liquid. You can buy the ranch powder and just put powder in it and just mix it up.
And then you'll just drink vodka
until it becomes
ranch.
like a gel, you know?
It's gross. All right, here we go. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, movie in a minute. I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to do my best. Here we go. Where's my stopwatch? In 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're in a submarine. It's the Russian, I believe. And they're like, we're invisible. We have all the technology. And there's this computer. It's AI. And then something happens, and they blow themselves up. They're like, what happened? Anyway, Tom Cruise is doing stuff. He's looking for... somebody tells him to go find this key. It's this girl that he knows. He goes and finds her, pretends, fakes her death, gets the key. Anyway, there's this thing called the entity. It's AI. It's taking over the internet. It can be anywhere. It can be anywhere, everywhere, all at once. It's like the movie. Some guy from Ethan's past is back, but he's like supposed to be dead. Anyway, they go on this crazy adventure to get this key so they can figure out what it goes to turn off the AI. Peggy from Captain America is there. Crazy stunts happen. There's a dealer, so she fakes her identity. They're on a train, and then he jumps off a mountain on a motorcycle and hang glides or whatever into this train, and crazy stuff happens. Blows up. He gets the key in the end, and then there's part 2 coming up. I forgot a lot of it.
That was perfect. No, that was spot on. Nothing else happened. All right, so you ready to talk about those three plot points?
He's being chased. He's being chased by the CIA.
What if we made it to where if it's not mentioned in movie in a minute, we can't talk about it?
Oh, wait, I have another idea.
Yeah.
Remember how a few weeks ago I said, like, I think you made a joke, and then I said, wait, actually, we should do this. And it's like one of us watches a movie, and then we talk about it, and the other person has to pretend like they've seen it the entire time.
And then figure out what it is by the end.
And then guess what it is at the end? I think it'd be funnier if, like, we got to figure out some time limit or whatever, and then by the end of that time limit, the other person has to do a movie in a minute.
Okay.
And, like, try and describe the movie and see if they're right.
Like the halfway point, maybe? So then we can still talk afterwards?
Yes.
I like that.
That'd be hilarious. Okay, well, the first of the 3 plot points is the submarine.
Yeah.
We start. And I guess looking back, was this like the AI was just like playing a trick on them, like pretending there was another sub? Is that what was happening?
I think the AI, isn't that how it escaped? Like it was on the sub, and then when it blew up the sub, I don't know, because that was the same AI that's the villain is on the sub.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't love the AI.
Me neither.
Like,
I'm not the biggest fan of the AI.
Super convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's relevant. Like I was just talking to this guy I met. He's a tech leader, and he was like, "AI freaks me out. Like the next 5 years are gonna be crazy." And so I get that it's relevant, but in a movie saying, "Okay, this quote unquote entity can be anywhere, do anything, and appear as anybody," is like the most convenient thing a movie can do.
Well, not appear as anybody.
Digitally can appear as anybody. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Like if it wanted to like log into something as somebody on the internet, it could. Mm-hmm. I get that he can't like physically manifest, which I thought they were going to do for a second.
I don't think that's how it works, because every time he enters a system, like every time he hacks into like the Pentagon's records or the Kremlin or whatever, there's like a signature, and they know that the entity was there.
You're right.
So it's not like...
Is that because it wants it? It wants them to know that it was there?
Oh, I don't know. I have 2 contentions with the entity. The first of which is, what the hell is its goal? Like, is it just want to watch the world burn? Like,
I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to pull out my favorite generic villain motive, and that is world domination.
But like, for what? To what end?
I don't know.
At one point, they
explain.
At one point, they say that it's trying to like pull together all of the world's like knowledge bases in order to get to like truth, which doesn't sound like that bad of a motive. Do you remember that when they were like, it's trying to get to like capital T truth by, if it has all the like the Secret Service and the fucking CIA and the Kremlin and everybody.
Well, was it to like, oh no, yes, but then they were like, whoever controls it controls the truth, and that was their whole.
Sure.
spiel.
My second question is, if it is AI like in the cloud, like it's everywhere, right? And it's just like expanding and expanding and expanding. How can this one fucking key on this one fucking sub just like, oh, you work for me now? Like, I don't think if an AI became sentient, I don't think that's how it would work, right? Because it would have the power. Huh?
It's the source code, whatever.
Okay, but so open source open source software that's like developed online. When a bunch of different developers start working on it, it's no longer centralized, right? It's no longer in like one location. It's here, it's there, it's all over the place. So one person couldn't really just like take control of it because there's a bunch of different places that are working on it and a bunch of different people that are working on it. If this thing is spreading all over the place, it could set roots and then like not be a centralized thing. Like source code is just a fucking buzzword.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and this doesn't have to kill the movie, but it's just a question that I have, you know.
That doesn't kill the movie for me. What is kind of convenient is like, I think to your point, in the sense of like, okay, sure, let's say the source code is there, they can like kill it. But it's like, no, if you have the source code, it's like, I can control it. And it's like, how exactly? Because
yeah, no one knows how to fuck, like,
I think that's
no
where
one
it
knows.
lost me, Rose. Yeah, or it's like I believe you. They say, okay, well, I know how to kill it, but it's like, no, I can control it. It's like, I don't know if you actually can, because
right.
It's, if you're saying it's sentient, then
exactly
that's
like
implying that it's going to be like, I'm not going to listen to you.
Right. How would having the key just like put you in charge?
Are you going to like blackmail it and be like, I can turn you off?
I know when you were a teenager AI, you sent some risky text messages and I'm going to expose them. Like what?
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's move on from
yeah.
from the AI.
That's really my only real complaint about this movie, is that seems generic to me.
It is generic, and it, but it is a cool concept. Like, do you know what Dead Reckoning is?
No, and they say that in the first like 2 minutes, and I was like, oh, there's the title. What does it mean?
So Dead Reckoning, which it relates to the beginning of the movie, the submarine, but also relates to like the movie as a whole from the perspective of the entity, is the process of like locating something based on where it was previously and its trajectory and like speed and stuff like that. So like submarines will, like sonar will go bloop, bloop,
yep.
But in between the bloops, they know where it is because they know the trajectory that it was moving in and the speed that it was moving at. And so they're able to know where a thing is in real time, right? Mm-hmm. Which is what the entity is doing. That's why, what's his face? Who's the bad guy? Like the human bad guy?
I forgot his name.
Gabriel. So Gabriel is like, he knows or the entity knows exactly where you're going to be and what you're going to do. One of your side chicks is going to die, even though he met one of them like yesterday, and I just don't understand, like, if I don't know. Not to say that I would value one life over another, but if there was someone that I'd had history with for like 4 movies, and then someone that I met yesterday, I'd be like, kill her. What's
funny is that I ever heard somebody at work today say they just got to keep killing off his girlfriends and give him a younger girlfriend. And haven't seen. I'm
on a side tangent here, and then we'll get back to the Dead Reckoning part. But I have a hard time believing that Ilsa's actually dead.
Okay.
Because she's just been such a big part of the franchise, and it just doesn't, like, if she's dead, then that's fine, but we don't see her, you don't see her, like, you just see her, like, shoulder when he's, like, looking down at her, right? Just like earlier in the movie, you just see, like, her shoulders, and he looks down at her, and then they're like, Ilsa's dead, but Ilsa wasn't fucking dead. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
You think he's trying to like long con the AI?
Well, Gabriel thinks that he killed her because he stabbed her and then walked away.
Because movie villains are idiots.
Right. Always. It's the hang them over a vat of acid with a 5-minute timer and then leave to go eat lunch.
Yes.
This kind of situation. But then on top of that, it was written by the entity, basically. Like the story was written that one of them was going to die. So if Ethan said, "Haha, Gabriel, you fucking butt face, she didn't die," then they're just gonna kill one of them, right? But if they think that
Yeah.
one of them's dead, maybe they'll let the other one live because the entity is like toying with them.
Yeah, because doesn't he say like the entity? What is it? What's the? This is the end, but we're like I forget Simon Pegg's character's name. What's his name?
Oh,
Benji, where he's like
mhm.
the entity. It's calculates based on like the most likely outcomes.
Yeah, it's dead reckoning.
Yeah, and so when he's
Because
like,
it knows
okay,
where
gotcha.
you were, and it knows like
where you're
it
gonna
knows
go.
how you think. It does the personality tests, like the bomb with Benji, right, where it's asking it questions to gain more information,
Yeah,
and then based on that information, it calculates the probability that different things will play out.
yeah, and so at the end he's like, you have to do the opposite, basically, where he's like, you have to not kill Gabriel or whatever.
Well, that was Luther saying that. That wasn't Benji.
Oh yeah, you're right. I liked those kind of things where it's like using AI like that to me is interesting. Being like it's gonna force you to go against your nature or whatever, or like it makes you think outside the box. But saying like, oh, this is some all sentient, all knowing, it can be anywhere. It's like, okay, but like, what does that mean? And why isn't the infrastructure of the world crumbling because it's all digital? You know what I mean?
Right. How do you feel about the relationship between Ethan and Kittredge?
I don't really know. I think they're all slimy, and I'm not sure if
Ethan's slimy.
No, I think Kittredge, whatever his name is, and then like the government, the U.S. government, obviously at the end is revealed to be kind of slimy.
Sure.
Was he played by somebody else in the past movies?
I don't think so. I think it's been the same Kittredge.
Oh, wait a second. He was last seen in Mission Impossible, like the original one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. See, I didn't know that. Anyway, I think it's not at all surprising that at the end, it's revealed that they're trying to like do a deal with, I forget her name, but the dealer with the key, and that they're the ones who are trying to buy the key. But I think they're both kind of playing both sides in the sense of like, Kittredge is like, do this to stop the bad guys, but in reality, you're actually just giving it to us so we can do it, what we're telling you to stop them from doing. But then on the other side, Ethan is using Kittredge, as well to like, he's gone rogue so many times that it's like a joke, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So my point is, why does Kittredge keep asking him to do stuff? If he's like, we know that you're going to go rogue. I think
because he thinks he can control him. He thinks he has it under control, even though he knows that Ethan's going to go rogue.
Well, that sounds like a him problem, because I think he's proven time and time again that he doesn't. I will say though that I did get a little tired of the CIA agents.
You got tired of Briggs and the other guy, Degas?
How do I say this? Not so much of their characters, but it felt like kind of like an Indiana Jones, where it was like, okay, we're going to go to this place, and then the bad guys are going to catch you, and then you're going to do a crazy chase, and then you're going to get to this place, and then they're going to catch you, and we're going to do this crazy chase.
Well, but it wasn't just the CIA guys that were doing that. There was also I don't even know if she's named. Oh, Paris, Pom Klementieff.
It's Mantis.
Right. She was also in. It's so crazy because I saw this movie, and then I just like turned on the TV after it was over, and Guardians 2 was on, and so she like popped up on the screen, and then I was like, I don't want to watch this, so I changed the channel to the Suicide Squad, and she has a cameo in that, and she popped up on the screen. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Anyways, I guess that's not that crazy.
Listening to you. Yeah, I mean, I know. I thought it was interesting. It's definitely seems like I would barely call it a relationship, more of like a required acquaintance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he likes Ethan. I don't think Ethan likes him. But I don't know. What did you think? You asked me the question. What do you think about it?
Well, I just wanted to spur you on to talk about the fact that they play off of each other for not the whole movie, but in the fact that Kittredge wants to thinks he can control Ethan, whereas Ethan's like pretty much in control the whole time. Although Ethan wasn't expecting Kittredge to be on the train at the end, I don't think.
No, he was not.
But even his own guys don't really respect him, because at the end, Briggs and Degas are helping. Yeah, they're helping Ethan.
Well, that's something that I think is an interesting. It poses an interesting question where it's like, I think is Briggs the older guy?
Yeah, that's Shea Wiggum. That's the guy in what's the movie with the dinosaurs with the skulls on their heads? Was that Kong, Skull Island?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so he's the guy that is like, I'm gonna take him out. He's got the grenades, and the dinosaur just like tail whips him, and he goes into the side of the mountain and blows up.
Oh, that's so funny. You're so right. Yeah, I think that's an interesting question, because he asks Degas, he asks him like, what would you do if you found that key or something like that? And he's like, I would give it to my superior. And he's like, no questions asked. He's like, yep, nope. And it's basically saying like, I'm gonna follow my orders like to a T, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And it does raise an interesting question of like, Ethan goes rogue for the greater good, right? Ethan's mission is to find this key and give it to the U.S. government, but he knows nobody should have this key.
It's not his mission.
What is it?
Ethan's mission is to get the key and just fucking fuck up the entity.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying like on paper, according to Kittredge, his mission is to get the key and bring it back to us.
But he doesn't accept that mission. See, the whole thing at the beginning where they're in the like intelligence room talking to the leader of the director of Homeland Security or whoever the fuck. The guy that
dies at the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about the IMF, and it's like, they carry out these missions that no one else can if they accept them. And he doesn't accept that mission. He says, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And then he knocks Kittredge out and puts his face on. He just rips his face right off and puts it on himself. And then Kittredge doesn't have a face for the rest of the movie, which is interesting. Yeah. An interesting dynamic. Gross. I hope someone hasn't seen it and they're listening to this and they think that that's factual.
What's funny is that Carrie Elwes, the guy who plays what's his actual name in the movie? Denlinger. Mm-hmm. He shows up, and I was like, oh, "That's the guy from Days of Thunder." That was the first thing I thought.
I saw him, and I was like, "Is that supposed to be one of the Bushes as a president?" Like,
he's also the like hotshot guy who dies in Twister.
He was in wait, what did you say he was in?
Days of Thunder. He's like the rival.
Yeah, he was also in like Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Tights. If you've seen those.
I don't think I've seen that one. Anyway,
Twister. You've seen Twister, right?
Yeah, Twister's awesome. Isn't that there's like a sequel show? It's called Twisters. Anyway,
they did the alien thing. It's like Aliens. Next thing you know, they're gonna have like Twister versus Shark Week.
It's gonna be called Twister v Shark Week: Dawn of Sharknado.
Yeah.
There it is. I'm not sure what we were even saying, but
we're talking about Shark Week.
Shark Week. It's coming up soon. You mentioned earlier that the humor is very well timed, and I have to agree. I think the best part of this movie for me, as somebody who's like, I think I've seen most of them, but I don't remember a lot of them, is that the chemistry between the core group is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, and then Rebecca Ferguson when she comes in. But even like Hayley Atwell's character, like their little back and forth when she tries to steal, like rob him or whatever. I thought it was like really, really good. I thought Simon Pegg was quite funny. I thought they were all really good. And that was very enjoyable for me, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, yes. But I was talking about, like, in action scenes, it'll just be, like, in a situation where it's like, fuck, what do I do now? And he just has, like, a funny look on his face for just, like, a split second. And people were just, like, cracking up, you know? I don't know. Did you not get that?
I must have missed those, or I've just forgotten them. Because there wasn't any humor to me that felt forced.
Oh, no. It was never forced.
And there wasn't any moments where I thought, I was like, oh, that didn't land. So whatever he did to me worked.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Are you talking about Tom Cruise or talking about Simon Pegg? Because I think Simon Pegg was funnier.
No. Tom Cruise is funnier than Simon Pegg. See, Simon Pegg tells jokes. So it's like spoken humor jokes. Tom Cruise did shit that's just like funny. But like it was intended to be funny, and it's like to break up the tension in the scenes. And you missed it. You missed all of it. And
no,
you've suffered from it.
I think it landed in the theater. I just think I've forgotten it because I saw it maybe a week ago. This is random, but did you have the this was made for the big screen message before the movie? Do you think that this movie Hold on, sorry. This is a tangent. How's this doing box office wise?
So on a on a $291 million budget.
Good Lord.
So, but I mean, opening weekend just ended, right? Now it is going to drop off a fucking cliff on Thursday because Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? That's this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just for a second I was like, wait.
That is this week. I think we're going to try and go Friday.
I'm seeing Barbie on Thursday, and I'm seeing Oppenheimer on Sunday.
You're seeing both this week. Are you going to see Barbie again before we record in 2 weeks, or are you going to just go off memory?
Probably. I mean, my assumption is that I'll watch it, and I'll like it, and I'll want to see it a second time.
Fair.
And honestly, I would double feature. Like, that just sounds like the coolest fucking day. Just like take Thursday off and double feature it, or do something like that. But I'm seeing Oppenheimer on Sunday on the big IMAX, and I don't want to see it before that. Like, I want that to be my initial experience.
I know. I am jealous of that. I was going to try and go, but I cannot. I'm going to see it probably on just the extreme screen or whatever the shit. What was I saying? God, it's been 45 minutes already. Jeez. Okay, let's talk about the action.
It's been 42 minutes.
Action. I fucking hate you.
And we fucked around for a little bit before we started recording, so it's probably only like 38, 39 minutes into
I'm going to
episode.
announce this live on the podcast. We're no longer friends. I hate your guts.
Perfect. What did you think about Hayley Atwell as Grace?
I thought she was really good. I don't know. It was fine. It didn't blow me away.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was good. I liked her better than I liked Vanessa Kirby, even though I think Vanessa Kirby is a phenomenal actress. I don't remember her. I know she was in the last one, wasn't she?
She's the broker. She's the one that she brings a bunch of fucking criminals together, and then Ethan does his thing. That's like her role.
That's where Henry Cavill cocks his arm. Isn't that where it happens?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen the previous iteration. But
I did like Hayley Atwell. I thought she was a cool addition. It's interesting to kind of see somebody, which I haven't seen the first one, so how they kind of come into the IMF,
Mm-hmm.
It's always kind of interesting. I think she kind of became the audience's vehicle to be like, what's happening? What's happening? Explain stuff to her so we can hear it.
Sure.
But I think at the end, I cared. I was like, I don't want her to die. I don't want any of them to die.
Right.
I think the issue with killing off, I forgot her name.
Ilsa?
Ilsa
Faust?
is that you already killed her off once.
Right.
And admittedly, somebody who like hasn't seen the last couple in a while, I was like, do I care about her? I don't know if I remember who she is.
Yes, we care about her.
But then, yes, I was sad when she died. I think it was a good sacrifice. But I think she was great. I think Hayley Atwell was great. I think she's a great actress.
But she didn't die, Hunter.
She didn't die. And I am curious to see what she becomes in the next part.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like she might align more with Kittredge.
Ilsa?
You know what I mean? No. Grace. Ilsa.
Grace? No.
I think
Grace isn't gonna...
she's a little black. She's like a little, not black and white. She's gray. I think she's kind of gray. You know what I mean?
But Kittredge is Ethan's gray, because Ethan is like, no, I understand what you're trying to do, but we have morals, so we have to...
Well, then I would say Ethan's black and white. If he's like, this is right, this is wrong. I mean, Grace almost took the deal and took the money.
No, but what I'm saying is Kittredge, when Kittredge is explaining it, he's saying either they have it or we have it. Those are the only options. And Ethan's like, no, we just blow the whole thing up. We kill it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's gray. That's like not an extreme, right?
Fair. Fine.
There's
I think she's going to be a big role in the next one.
So think about, Grace has the option at the end of the film to get $100 million from one guy and protection for herself. And then she thinks about Ethan and Benji and Luther, and she's like, no, those are my buddies, those are my pals. Decline. Also, if I do this, I'm selling my soul. Who am I selling my soul to? I don't think she's going to align herself with Kittredge. I think she's by the end of the film, I think she's made the transformation. She's fully part of the IMF, and she knows her mission is to like go in there and like, because Ethan tells her he thinks he can control you. That's why he's going to, even though you're helping me right now, the fact that he thinks he can control you, he's going to take you in. So, yeah, he's going to take her under his wing, Kittredge's, but I don't think she's going to just become his fucking crony. Like, no, Hunter.
Yeah.
You're
I don't
wrong.
mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. I had a question and I lost it. What'd you think of the last sequence of the whole train, everything? That whole... I thought I was engrossed. I was engrossed by it.
Yeah, the train was I mean, it's an awesome set piece, right? Like, from the way that Gabriel and Paris come in and just like make it keep, like they take out the conductors and stuff and like make it, runaway train situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, anytime you have something with a bunch of like I'm just gonna like explain what a fucking train is now. It's like a bunch of different train cars, so like each car can be like a different setting, but they're all so close together. I don't know, it's a cool way to line up action sequences at the end. I will say, and this comes back to, and this isn't really necessarily, it had nothing to do with Tom Cruise's acting, but I think the funniest part of the entire movie for me was when Grace was about to get like shot and killed by Vanessa Kirby's like cronies. They were like, drop it, and they were about to shoot her, and he just comes like straight through the fucking side of the train car. I laughed so hard when that happened.
Well, what's funny about that is
do you imagine? Can you imagine how fast he had to have been going to go through the side of the train car?
Yeah. Like, well, what's funny is like what made it work for me. One, that should have killed him, frankly. But two, what what like made it work to me is that it was totally not on purpose. Like he's like dazed. He like can barely see straight, and he's just like
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's funny, right?
That was really good.
And right before that, he's flying through the air, and he's like, "I don't think I'm gonna make it." And then it cuts to that. He just goes through the side of the train. That's hilarious. Like stuff like that, and it's extremely tense, right? But then he breaks up the tension with stuff like that. I just think it's really well done.
But
I will say
he doesn't kill the tension.
No, absolutely not. You can't. I mean, yeah. I will say for me, and I know someone's gonna be like, "Shut your mouth." When the train was falling off of the like cliff, you know, like when he blows up the bridge and it's like falling, and it's like this train car is falling. Oh, they have to get up through this obstacle. Then they get to this one. Oh, they're safe. Oh shit, it's still going. That felt a little long-winded because it was like, okay, if the train's falling and they just spent like a minute and a half, like why is it taking a minute and a half for each train car to fall? Does that make sense?
Yeah. To me, it almost was like, I'm going to try and show my reaction. It was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Oh shit, another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, okay, another one. Okay, another one. But then somehow it came back around, and I was like, oh my God, another one. Like, it like went so long that it like got interesting to me again. You know what I mean? Like, where I was like, wow, this is really, I think
we're going for it.
Yes, I think that's what it was, is that I think I was like, seriously? But then I thought, hell, all right, shit, man, like, let's do it. Let's like go all the way. And I think
at one point I was hoping for them to go the entire train. Like,
yeah. I was like, might as well just do the whole thing, man. I think part of me went from, oh, that's intense, to this is going on too long, to wow, this is really technically like they're really doing this. So I'm not saying it was like it got good again, but I was like, I respect it, man. Like, hell yeah. I mean, I was tense. I was like, I think part of me eventually was like, how many more ways can they get out of this?
Sure.
So I became interested in being like, let's just see. Let's like show me. I want to see all the crazy ways you can get out of this alive. I think by that point I was just sort of like, whatever, man, I'm on board. Like let's do it. We have to talk briefly about the motorcycle jump. I thought it was nuts.
It was nuts. I think I'm becoming not a trailer guy because the trailer shows us the climax, or like the end of the movie, right? We see the motorcycle jump, and then we see the train, like the bridge blowing up and the train going off of it, which is the end of the movie. You know, I don't know. The motorcycle jump was insane, and he did it in real life. He did it like I don't remember how many takes he did, but he drove off that cliff. I think it was like 6 times. It was like 6, 7 times. It was at least 5 or 6 times. Yeah. And like, look, Tom Cruise, love him or hate him, I think he's become an actor who's great in these kinds of movies. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't really care to see him in anything else, frankly. Like, just being honest. But whether you like him or not, he is dedicated to his craft, and he's an absolute psychopath. Like, that he will do these things. I think he's going to the moon for something. Like, he's actually going to film in space or something like that. On the moon?
Well, no, it wasn't the moon. Sorry, it's like he's going to the space station or something like that. He's going to be the first actor to film in space.
So what you're telling me is that you hated Top Gun Maverick?
No, I think that falls into this kind of category.
And you hated Edge of Tomorrow?
I don't know if I've seen that. Is that the one where they like go back in time every day? Or like he like relives the same day over and over again?
Yeah, if they die, they just like regenerate. It's him and Emily Blunt.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hide the fact that I love Tom Cruise.
Bill Paxton's in it. Have you seen Minority Report?
I think so.
Cool.
I don't know. Probably.
Have you seen that video of him saying, "I love popcorn"? Movies, popcorn.
No, I haven't.
It dropped like a few days ago.
I did see him say, I saw him say in an interview where he said he's going to see Barbie and Oppenheimer like in the same weekend. He said probably see Barbie on Friday, and then he'd probably go see Oppenheimer on Saturday night, something like that. Anyway, but in the last one, he breaks his ankle, and that's the shot that's in the movie. And in that same shot, he like limps away, and it's because he broke his ankle, and that's like he has a broken ankle right now.
Yeah.
So and this dude drove a motorcycle off a cliff. Do you think? Let me ask you a question, philosophical question, and then we can wrap up.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you. I want you to answer this for yourself, and then for the public at large, for the movie-going public at large. Okay. You understand movies. You like movies. You respect filmmaking. You respect the process. You respect the technique, the technical side.
Mm-hmm.
Say you don't see a trailer for this movie at all. You just know that it's Mission Impossible. And so like, oh, shit's going to probably get crazy, right?
Yep.
Let's say you're watching the movie totally blind going in. You're not, you aren't blind. You can watch the movie.
Okay. You knew that I was going to latch on to that.
I know. And the motorcycle jump happens, right?
Yeah.
How do you react? Are you blown away by it? Are you like, holy shit?
Yeah, I would have been like 3 times as blown away by it if I hadn't seen it in a trailer, because I know that Tom Cruise does all this stuff practically.
Yes.
Like, think about what he put himself through in Top Gun Maverick, where he was like actually in the plane, going through the G-forces and stuff, right? So yeah, it would have been, and it was awesome. It was a spectacle. I just wish I hadn't seen it in a trailer multiple times. And
go on.
I kind of wish I hadn't, like, I've seen like making of videos where it's like him like doing it on set, right? And he's like going off the cliff. And that stuff is awesome. I think I miss the days when a movie came out and you didn't really know a lot about it. And then if you were like a big fan of the movie, you bought like the collector's edition, director's cut, and then you got all this cool behind the scenes shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I miss that so much.
The featurettes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I have the box set of the extended edition Lord of the Rings films, and there's so much in there to like. I haven't watched all of it. It's just it's too much, but
so
it's so cool.
Why do you think? Do you think the movie-going public needed to see the jump to be like, oh yeah, I'll go see this, and needed to know that Tom Cruise really did it? Like, is that what you think is the selling point of this movie? Because I saw somewhere that it's actually doing worse than expected financially so far. It's getting rave reviews, but financially it opened up to a lower than anticipated box office, which is a theme that's been happening. The Flash bombed, Indiana Jones bombed, Elementals bombed, Transformers bombed, Fast and Furious bombed.
This is not bombing. I wouldn't say. It might be lower than expected or lower than anticipated, but that doesn't quantify a bomb.
Well, I think what quantifies a bomb is the budget. It's $300 million, but that's not even marketing. So this thing can probably come in at $400 million. So, like, what is a success? $1 billion? Because that's like a movie like Batman v Superman made $900 million and was considered like a disappointment. So, like, what do you think is a successful box office for this kind of movie? Well, maybe not this kind, but this movie.
I personally couldn't give 2 shits about the box office. Fair. I think this is a successful movie. Think about, because it's not, I don't know. You got international release that hasn't happened yet. You have when it goes to streaming services. There are some movies that are quote unquote box office flops, but then when they go to streaming, they do very well.
That's I think Blade Runner 2049 was a disappointment, right? And then it's become like a modern cult classic.
Sure, but what I mean is, like, financially,
yep.
They can quantify that it made its money back once it goes to streaming, and then you've got, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales. Like, if a movie is a quality product, I don't think, quote, unquote disappointing box office numbers are like the biggest concern. I know that Tom Cruise values the theater experience, so maybe to him, low box office numbers are like, oh man, people didn't come see my movie that I made in the theater.
Well, I think, and this is a tangent that we can wrap up, but I think this is sorry, I'm kind of going off on the left field. To your point, I think saying that this movie is successful is a good thing. But I think it's hard to deny that people aren't, like, these movies aren't blowing up like people thought they would. This summer has been a string of misfires, apparently. Indiana Jones bombed, Flash bombed, Fast and Furious bombed. This one is not bombing, but it's doing less than expected. And so, do you think we'll see do you think we'll see studios kind of turn to say, let's make smaller budget movies? Is this the end of the blockbuster era? You know what I mean? Not like literally, but like, are we done with $1 billion movies?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
To sort of,
I'm sorry. I know we're going off the rails.
Give a little bit of a counterpoint. So, would you consider Beau is Afraid a flop?
No. And I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
But that's kind of what I was leading at. Well, I think if my assumption is correct, it could be totally different. But what I hope happens is that more studios make films like Beau's Afraid and invest in those kind of movies, saying, "Oh, we aren't going to make something for $400 million, but we'll give you 90." You know what I mean?
Okay, so Beau is Afraid was a much lower budget. It was $35 million, but it only made $11 million in theaters.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough because, like.
But do you think they're not going to give Ari Aster another shot after?
Exactly.
Hereditary and Midsommar did so well. It's super early, man.
Yeah.
It's super early. It's one thing to say, it's not tracking as high as it was projected to, or whatever, right? But that doesn't mean it's a flop. That doesn't mean it's a failure.
To your point though, it's going to hit a brick wall this weekend. 2 brick walls actually, Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Well, it's also going to be an international release, and people love Tom Cruise internationally.
That's true. Yeah, well, I was just curious. Anyway, shall we wrap up?
We can. We haven't even really talked about Gabriel, like, at all.
Oh. Is he in the old movies, or is he just from this movie?
I don't think he's in any of the other ones. I think this is like it's Gabriel from my past.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was fine. I think it's just trying to give the entity a face. I thought for a second, I'm not even fucking with you, when he like disappeared on the security footage. I thought for a second they're like, oh, the entity has manifested itself in the real world. I was about to be like, I'm gonna check out hard if that's the case. So I'm glad that wasn't what they did, because I was about to be like, please no.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Oh, the entity is manifest in the real world.
I thought he was fine. I think he suits his character, like his role. I didn't think he was like groundbreaking. What about you?
You don't think he was groundbreaking?
No.
This cool, calm, and collected villain who knows everything that you're gonna do. He knew that what's her face was gonna betray him, and again, he stabbed her but did not kill her, and she was able to lay there bleeding for a while.
I think he's a quintessential villain. I think he has all the right characteristics of stab you and don't make sure you're dead, but I walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
he's calm and collected. Yeah.
Keep that in mind. She was stabbed in a very similar place to where Ilsa Faust was stabbed.
Zach, you've made your point. Ilsa's alive.
But Ilsa was found by Ethan very quickly.
That's
he
true.
walked out and she was there.
He didn't walk. He upright sprinted.
Yeah, he did the upright sprint.
He's got such
all I'm saying is if John Wick is still alive, and we think he is, then why not Ilsa?
the guy in front of me on the plane, our 7-hour plane ride, watched 2 John Wick movies. He watched chapter 4 and chapter 2.
Oh, goodness.
Anyways, Zach, I have to ask you a question. Oh, no, you have to ask me a question.
I have to ask you a question, you butt. Hunter Callahan,
Yes.
first of your name as far as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Heir to the throne of Ireland. Is Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning Part 1 good?
I'm very pleased to announce and tell you that Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning Part 1 is, in fact, good. It is a good movie. It's a great movie. I think it's a great movie for what it is. I don't think it tries to be the most, hey, sweet girl. I think my pups are in here. Stink, come here, buddy. Oh, he's tired. Addie girl. Bibika. Bibika. Addie, come here. Look. Look, it's Addie girl. Say hey to Athena. What do you call her for short?
T.
T?
Mm-hmm.
So
like Tina.
We were talking to Trey. Obviously, hold on. First off, the movie's good. It's good. Go watch it. It's really good. I was with my brother Trey in California all this past week, and he has a cat who's a psychopath, but she's amazing. Her name is Calliope. And Trey was laughing at me and Hannah because we call Addie, we call her Bibika.
Mm-hmm.
Bibika Livy, and we have all these weird names for her. And so we were like, what do you call Callie? And he goes, Binkles.
Binkles.
Or there was something else like Pipia or something like that. So he has all these ridiculous names. And we're like, what the fuck, Trey? Binkles. Anyway, it's good. Let's do Every Movie Sucks. Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, hold on. Do we need to talk about the Rotten Tomato scores, or do we do that?
It's 96, I believe. 96%. Audience score is 94. I think for what it is, yeah, sure. I'd give it like a 90. I'd give it like a 91.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Every Movie Sucks because someone hates the movie that you love.
You love.
You can tell that I went to a dark website because
Yes.
I'm in the dark. Schmelbo says shit.
I was about to say that one. Let's see here. This one says, Florence says, this film is so long and I don't want to see another part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
Very romantic. Everyone was finishing everyone else's sentences. Would rate it 1 star, but can't possibly score it higher than John Wick. Because hold on.
John Wick is amazing.
Because at least that one was visually compelling and cohesive. Can't believe they're spending real money on this shit, America.
Wow.
So this person gave John Wick 1 star?
Well, no, that'd be higher than John Wick, so John Wick might have a half star.
You're right, yeah.
Here's Traverse B. Actual garbage. It switches between the characters explaining the story in detail and then goes into an action sequence. Also, it talks to the audience like they're stupid. You made a point of that. That's fair. The editing was atrocious. Terrible storytelling. Old and aging Tom Cruise with hot young actresses. Pom's character literally had no purpose. 2 hours too long. Cheesy, boomerish, overdramatic lines that provided a twist every 20 seconds, and everyone finishes each other's sentences.
Does it really say that?
Yeah, it does.
Well, it looks like it was fucking possible.
That's good. I like that one. We can end on that one. I have one more, but that one's too good.
Okay.
That one's funny. All right. Shindigs. Let's go to the dying breed that is my movie news because the news is about to dry up real fast. Let me pull it up. Sorry, I should have had it ready. Here we go. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
News. Time for the news. We get our first look and possibly last look at the first ever comic accurate Wolverine with Hugh Jackman on the set of Deadpool 3 in his yellow and blue X-Men costume. We get our first trailer for Ridley Scott's Napoleon starring Joaquin Phoenix. Hugh Grant is an Oompa Loompa in Timothée Chalamet's Wonka trailer. The Boys spinoff gets a teaser. It's called Gen V, I think. Gen 5. Mm-hmm. Cameron Monaghan. He's the guy in... he's from Shameless, and he plays Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order. And then Sarah, forgive me, Desjardins have joined the cast of Tron Ares. We get our first look at Donald Glover and Maya Erskine in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith reboot for Amazon Prime. And then we got some DCU news. James Gunn has confirmed 4 superheroes in Superman Legacy. We have Isabella Merced as Hawk Girl. We have Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific. Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho, and Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern Guy Gardner. And has also confirmed, because everyone's like freaking out like, oh, they have too many characters, and wait, Nathan Fillion was in the Suicide Squad. He has confirmed that the DCU canon starts with Superman Legacy, even if the same actor plays a character. So I guess he's confirmed that even if like Jason Momoa continues to play Aquaman, it is a new canon that begins with Superman Legacy, which makes me wonder what's going to happen with his shows because they come out beforehand. That means, like, he said that the guy who plays Blue Beetle is going to be in the DCU, but it's going to be, like, I guess, a new canon. And then the last news, the big news is that for the first time in 63 years, Hollywood has shut down, and the Actors Guild and the Writers Guild are on strike, which means no new films or shows can be written. And also, all union actors must cease work. That means no more productions, no more filming, no more promotion. The cast of Oppenheimer actually walked out with permission, obviously, like Christopher Nolan supported it, of the Oppenheimer premiere.
They didn't need Christopher Nolan's support.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
They didn't need fucking permission. Are you kidding me?
I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying like... It
defeats the whole purpose.
I'm glad that
with permission. Like, hey, would it be okay if we?
No. I'm saying it made me happy that like Christopher Nolan like was saying like
support.
No, they're going to support it.
Support with the support of Christopher Nolan.
They all got their permission slips signed by Christopher Nolan to say we go pick it. So that being said, the biggest news of the weekend was that there are lots of celebrities at Wimbledon, and that's kind of all that happened.
You really?
So,
I was texting Hunter yesterday, right? Because it was the men's yesterday. Singles final, which was an amazing match. I don't know if you're a tennis guy, but it was phenomenal. And I was like, Brad Pitt's here, and Daniel Craig's here, and Hugh Jackman was there. Hugh Jackman's here. You got to add this to your movie news. Yeah. I didn't think you were actually going to do it.
Tom Hiddleston was there.
Did you see the? I mean, there were a couple trailers that came out this week. I don't know. You didn't mention the Wonka trailer or the Napoleon trailer, did you?
Yes, I did. I mentioned both of those.
Did you really?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't watch either of them, but I saw that.
Cool.
Released. And that's all I got.
Sweet.
So, Zach, how about your Braves minute? The worst team in baseball.
So, yeah, that's where I'm going with this. We come out of the All-Star break, and we lose our first series. Do you know the last series that we lost before we lost?
Was it the A's?
The Athletics. So, that's a streak that ended. Another streak that ended. We had gone 28 straight games with a home run. 31.
Oh, no.
31 was the all-time record, like not just modern era, but like all-time record for straight games with a home run. That streak is gone. I'm going to say it because I don't think anyone else wants to, but it's time to sell. And I mean sell the team. We need new ownership. We need a new skipper. We need a new right fielder. We need a new first baseman. Everybody. Just get rid of all of them.
Sure. Catcher's
Get rid of all of them except for Charlie Culverson. I want him to be the centerpiece of the team.
Charlie Clutch.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, I have to tell you that you have the guts to say that. That's very, very brave of you.
Mm-hmm. It's the bravest thing I've done all week.
There you go. Whiskey shots?
Yep, it's time to take a shot of whiskey.
Whiskey shots. To whiskey. Actually, I do have a whiskey story. So we were at Trey's house, and you know Hibba. She has a cat named something. She calls him Toonie. Zaytoon. Zaytoon is the cat's name. And Zaytoon and Callie don't get along. So Zaytoon was staying in Hibba's room, and he was like talking, and it sounded just like whiskey, where she used to go, hello, and I was like, it's whiskey. Excuse me. So there's my whiskey story.
It's a whiskey story.
To whiskey.
Gulp.
All right. Where can they find us, Zach?
You know where they can find us.
Oh, sick. I'll tell them. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at But Is It Good Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at BIIG Podcast. I haven't joined Threads yet, but I guess I'm probably going to have to. But that'll be the same as our Instagram because it's through Instagram. But It's a Good Podcast. You can email us at biigpodcast@gmail.com. Are you going to go see Oppenheimer first or Barbie? Do you think the mission was actually possible? You can follow me at Hunter Callahan Music. You can follow Zach at Zach with an H, to the number, the THA, future.31. And that's it. Ouch. Zach, do you have anything else to add, or are you just going to pantomime things on the camera so no one can see it?
No, I'm good. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Okay, cool. Well, then we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
But Is It Good Podcast? Yeah.